Hi guys, welcome back. So, got some painting progress from last week. Couldn't get the video out on the weekend, I've had a very busy time of it, but video's here now, so let's dive right in. I think we'll start with Syll'Esske. So, not much done on this. Just started putting the silver on all the jewellery, the arms and whatnot. So, and that metal spine thing that he's got going on. So, going to highlight all that up. I've also got to, I'll do the axe at the same time, at least the metal work on it, and then I'll go and do all the gold at the same time as doing the armour, so that's nice. Right. Nothing's done on that one. This one, however, I'll do Glutos in a bit and do Sigvalds. So I've done some freehand work on the cloak. I wanted it to be subtle. I didn't want it to show through too much, so that's where we're at with that. And that was just a mixture of Stonewall Grey and Glacier Blue from Vallejo's Game Colour and Game Airline. So 50-50 mix of that with a bit of flow improver just to act as a drawing retardant or paint retardant. That's the main one. I think it sits something like that. I really like this because I've managed to retain that cloak looking like two different colours depending on which way you look at it. So I do believe it sits behind the model something like that. That should look pretty nice. In fact, I can even go as far. Putting his cloak on. It'll look something like that. And go even further, kind of just slot him on his base a little. Ooh, was that a step too far? You kind of get the drift. So I'm not going to be able to hold that, unfortunately, but either way. So that's kind of how it's going to look. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, we're not going for any fancy. I'm not doing a cabinet quality. I know it's Sigvald, but I just need to get this army playable with, really. But I'm happy with it. I'm very happy. So I've got to do the gold detailing on the cloak. I'm going to go for the same gold, or at least try to the same colour of gold as I did on the armour, so that should look quite nice. The rest of Sigvald, I've had a go at doing blonde hair, and I've never painted blonde hair before. So, at least to the best of my knowledge, I've never painted blonde hair. So it's a bit of a first. So what I did was I painted it ivory. A couple of coats needed on that. And then I applied the contrast paint, Skeleton Horde I believe it's called. Yeah. Contrast Skeleton Horde mixed with some contrast medium. And then just applied all over it. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to highlight up the hair with the ivory again. Just flick it, and there's also a bit just at the bottom here that I'm going to probably glaze in some more Skeleton Horde because I think it looks a bit patchy, but the rest of it I'm fairly happy with. So not the most skilled at doing faces, but I think that's looking alright. The horns, all I did was I did them the same ivory. I coated them really thinly with Skeleton Contrast Horde, and then I got some of the Black Templar contrast really thinned out and just kind of stippled it and tried to mix it in while it was still wet and wet blend it into the base of the horns, so it kind of looks like a bit of a fade, and I quite like it. So see if we can get a clever bit of camera angles on here. That's kind of how that's going to look. That's alright. That'll do. The shield I've also got primed. So primed that in grey because I've come up with a couple of ideas of what I want to do. Every single one will require a light background, so that will do quite nicely. I've added the metal to the pot, dark metals. I've done that on a few of the crew for Glutos, since we're moving on to Glutos now. Done some of the metals on there, just the silvers. Oh, so it's just a base layer, so that's no highlighting or anything done. And same as on this one, this ogre. I've done the metals on there. Now I've also done all the airbrushing I need to do on the skin, so I think that looks okay. Now that's a nice little base, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a bit of Carrion Crimson, really thinned out, and I'm just going to glaze it into some of the stronger recesses, especially in the muscles, just to give those muscles and give the muscles a bit more definition. The face, I'm going to do exactly the same, and all of the scars as well, which I might do even a little heavier, just putting the recesses just so it really pops out. Back to Sigvalds for just a sec. It's nothing much, but I have started applying the gold on there, so a little something extra. And Glutos' chariot. Now, I'm 100% sold on what I've done, but everything I've done at the moment is reversible. So I've started outlining all the gold. Now this is only one coat at the moment. It will require a second, I think. But I've started to do the bottom of the chariot, and this all needs to be repeated on all of that work at the framework at the top. Also done that in the base silver. Not 100% sure what I'm doing with the tiles. I was thinking gold and just whack on some oil wash and everything, but not too sold on that at the moment. Not too sold. So I'll have to make up my mind. I'm also not sure on what to do for these. It's almost plank work like. Now, my original idea was do them gold, and then I'll stain it and everything, and that'll be fine, but I think it's just going to be too much, so I think I might have to go back in, do black, and then, I don't know, come up with another idea basically. Maybe. I'm going to see. I'm not 100% sold on my choice of colours for that. I think it'll just it'll just be too much, and I think it will detract away from the marble. However, that being ignored, and that is looking quite nice at the front, and that's before doing any of the oil pin washing, the panel lining, or any weathering, which I might go doing as well. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with where I'm at that. So that is probably going to be a lot of this week's work. I'm just going to put that to one side. And that's what I've managed to get done. I have also put a bit of primer on the base of the cloak, because I got a cotton bud and some Osprey alcohol and just stripped it off because there was a lot of fluff and everything caught in the paint, and there's a bit on other bits of the model and a tiny bit at the bottom, but it's nowhere near as bad as what was at the bottom of that cloak. And I know it's only a 3D printed model that I'm just doing just to get on the table, but there's limits, and evidently that was mine. So we've corrected it. I'm on the path to getting that sorted, so that's something else that I want to get done. I'm probably going to do some airbrushing on that with some of the inks, same inks to match it, do all the knot work, and I'm probably going to see if I can smash that out. Maybe in a day. Might not be a day this week, but I'm going to try devoting an entire day just to getting this model done and just smashing it out. And then that's a model done for the table then. It's not going to be anything special because, again, just a 3D print. Back of them. So yeah, that's what I managed to get done this week, guys, and thank you very much. And hopefully I'll get a bit more done, especially on Sigvald. I'm really looking forward to getting Sigvald done. But till next week. Well guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, like, comment and subscribe. Also be sure to check out our Facebook page at Wolfing Studios. The link's in the description. As always, thanks for stopping by. Catch you next time.